see if, after talking to Aaron yesterday, do they, against the lefty tonight, do they elevate Torrez? And I decided today when I was getting a haircut that, you know what, I'm going to call him GT from now on. You know what, no one knows what to call him. I'm just going to call him GT. That's it. So on this show, at least, I'm going to call him GT. So I'm not going to call him Torrez. I'm going to call him Glaber. I'm going to call him GT. So do they elevate GT in the lineup tonight? He said he was thinking about it. Is this the night it happens? Does he jump in that lineup tonight the way he has been playing, which has been unbelievably? I mean, what he's done is just, he's thrust himself into every conversation now. And he has, in a year where you're seeing incredible young talent in baseball. I mean, stunning young talent in baseball. He is doing just an amazing job, especially of late, with the home runs and everything else. So the Yankees and the Angels tonight, we'll see if GT gets moved up in the batting order. Is this the night it happens? And for the Mets, Syndergaard this evening off a very good performance for Mats against a representative team, a solid team. I don't want to call the Brewers yet a good team. I call them I'll call them a pretty good team. I don't call them a good team. But a team that was playing well. And that was a good win last night. All right, Mike in Jersey starts us off. What's up, Mike?
Well, first off, Happy New Year. Just sitting in this MDW traffic right now, and I have a question about Torrez moving up in the lineup, or GT as you call him.
Yeah.
What do you think, how far do you think he can move up?
One.
You think just one?
No, 1-1. The first.
Oh, really?
Oh, that's what. I mean, to me, that's what I think we're talking about. What difference? Why are you going to bat him eighth? I mean, I think if you're talking about moving him up the lineup, I'm not putting. He's not a middle of the lineup hitter. I think you want to bat him first, or bat him second, and drop Judge the third. You could do one of the two. You could decide if I'm playing Gaudy 1, GT 2, or I don't like Hicks 1, so I would scratch that. But if you wanted to go Hicks 1 and GT2 and then Judge 3, that way, if you want to keep Judge at 2, then I would just go with GT1. And if it's Gaudy out of the lineup against the lefty, I drop Hicks down the lineup and go GT, Judge, and go from there. Stanton, Sanchez, Didi, on, down, and go from there and put GT1, Judge 2. I like the idea of them batting back-to-back. GT Judge appeals to me 1-2. So if I was going to make the move myself against the lefty, I would put Torrez or GT in the number 1 spot and put Judge in the number 2 spot. If Gaudy's in the lineup, I would put GT in the 2 spot and then put Judge in the 3 spot. Steve in Manhattan. What's up, Steve?
Hey, Mike. How you doing? Welcome back, man. I missed you. I don't know who to listen while you were gone.
Thank you. What's happening?
I would like to weigh in on the Greg Bird situation. I know how baseball is. I know he's a top prospect. I know he's supposed to be a great player. I get all that. But I've been listening to the conversations we've all been having with him, and is this the last shot he gets? I mean, because Tyler Austin is not exactly embarrassing himself out there. I don't feel like he is. 8 home runs, 23 RBIs. I don't know if he's batting upper 230s or low 250s, but Greg Bird generally bats 200.
Listen, Bird, we haven't seen a full season out of Bird. I think Bird has a lot of talent. I don't think there's any question. Listen, Austin's a major league player. No question he's a major league player. I mean, no one's disputing that. Is he an everyday player? He might be. I mean, definitely.
Can somebody else go other than him, though? Can somebody else go? I mean, but where would Tyler Austin play, right?
No. There's nowhere else from. You cannot get rid of. Now, here's who you can get rid of. You can get rid of Walker. And I don't want to get rid of Walker. Walker plays first, second, and third. He also pinch hits. Yeah. And you're not getting rid of Glaber. You're not getting rid of Torrez because Torrez is your utility man, and he's part of the Yankees. He's been part of the Yankees. He's done a great job, and he's your utility man. You don't want to have to put. You don't want to have to put.
I guess he's the odd man out. I guess.
Well, Austin is Austin or a pitcher. It's Austin or a pitcher, and I know they don't want to send Austin down. I understand that. Then you have to drop a pitcher off the roster. That's all. Now you can drop a pitcher off the roster. You can do that now, and then you can play around as you get closer with, having to deal with different things as far as, double headers and making moves there where you might have to fiddle with your roster a little bit with pitchers. But, you can bounce guys off the roster. Absolutely. You have the ability to do that. You can take Cole and drop him down. He doesn't have to be on the roster. But I don't want Walker to go. There's no way Torrez is going. It's Austin or Bird, unless you can keep Austin and send AJ Cole down. You can do that, which is probably what I think they'll do short term. That might not be the long term answer. That might be the short term answer. Mike and Yonkers, what's up, Mike?
Hey.
Hello, Mike. What's up?
Hey, not much. Just talking about the Mets.
Let's go. Talk about them. Earth to Mike. Earth. Somewhere. Find Mike. Ask him to join us somewhere on the planet. Mike in Brooklyn. What's up, Mike?
Hey, Mr. Francesa. First time. Thanks for the opportunity.
What's going on?
So, quick Knicks point and quick Mets point, if I may. New coach is stirring up the culture over there, and I think for the draft with Porzingis on the mend, I think the Knicks need to do whatever they can to get Michael Porter Jr. in this upcoming draft. He's the guy who has a lot to prove. And he has the talent to be just a game-changing person that the Knicks haven't had. And to your point earlier, you kind of stole the thunder with the earlier thing. But is it really overkill to bring in Ramirez if it's the Mets?
The Mets? Where would you play him?
It really depends because,
what does it depend on?
Well, it depends on the matchup and stuff.
Well, where would you play him other than first? Could you play him anywhere other than first base? No.
I have confidence in him at short or at third.
Third, short? Hello. We're not even... Listen, third is the only other option, and it's not a good one. And they have Frazier. So first is the position. You don't have a DH. He's not even a good first baseman. He's okay. And he's a legitimate bat. But he also, I understand why the Red Sox got rid of him. I wouldn't want to have him... I wouldn't want to owe him $22 million. When was the last time, Chris, he played anywhere else? 2015?
2015.
Gotcha. And he's not good. So I have the Yankee lineup, and first, GT still at the bottom, so they haven't made any moves. Gaudy's in the lineup. So it's Gaudy, Judge, Stanton DH, Sanchez, Didi, Hicks, Austin, Andujar, and Torrez, or GT, as the last spot, and then, of course, Severino. So Gaudy in the lineup tonight. And Gaudy, Judge, Stanton, DH, Sanchez, Didi, Hicks, Austin, Andujar, and Mr. Red Hot, Mr. Torrez, at his regular spot. So he said he fooled with the idea, but he has not yet done it, and not yet. So we'll see if it does happen. Maybe it won't happen. We'll see. So far, so good. Doing well as it is. Joe and Jackson. What's up, Joe?
Hey, Mike. How you doing?
Good.
Welcome back.
Thank you. What's happening?
Nothing. I got a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
It seems to me one of these three has to go. Which one do you think is going to go between?
I just told you. I just told you who I thought was going to go. I think AJ Cole's going to go probably. Hello.
So I'm saying as far as like a trade value.
Eventually, Eventually,
Reyes, Andujar, and Drury.
Well, Torrez is a utility man. Don't worry about Torrez. You're not talking about Torrez, are you?
No, hell no.
GT's not going anywhere. He's untouchable. So could the trade guys are Andujar, Austin, and then obviously Frazier, and then anybody else who's on the minor league level. But on the major league level, Frazier, who's in the minors right now, Austin, or Andujar are all trade bait for the right pitcher. Now, going down the line, we can talk about a million things. Do the Yankees consider? I mean, there's a lot of things you can consider. I mean, I don't even want to get into some of the things because they would open up, a lot of conversation, which I don't want to get into right now today. But there's some other things that could happen here that are big picture moves that would open things up in a very big way for different players. So, but as far as right now, they have to add Bird, and I do not want Walker to leave the team. I don't think they're considering that. So it's either Austin goes down or you drop a pitcher, which I believe would be AJ Cole, down. I think short term they'll put Cole down. They may have to have some issues with pitches based on how things work out, how healthy their bullpen is, how their starters are overworked or not overworked, depending how everybody's doing as they come up to this stretch of games. They don't have a day off now until the day before the Yankee-Met game, which is the 7th. Yeah, the Yankee-Mets start on June 8th. Their next day off is June 7th. They play a doubleheader in Detroit on a makeup on that Monday, June 4th. So they have no days off now until I think the 7th of June, and they play a doubleheader on the 4th of June. The Monday, they play a doubleheader in Detroit. So they might have to make some move that day to get some pitching in just for the day. That's a possibility. But right now, the question is, Bird up tomorrow, who's down? Austin or Cole? I'd say Cole goes down and Austin stays. Short term, I think that's what's going to happen. Steve in Boundbrook, what's up, Steve?
Hey, Mike, how's it going?
What's happening?
Mike, the show before you, Bart Scott said the same thing about Ramirez playing short or third, and I was like,
please.
How long has this guy been watching?
The guy, he's a first baseman, barely. That's all he is.
That's it. He's a first baseman.
And I'm not getting it. And they don't have any room here for him.
It's ridiculous. I don't know how that guy has a job on your station.
No, so don't worry about him. But Ramirez does not fit the Mets. Because the Mets, if they want to keep Nemo in the lineup at all, first of all, they have Frazier at third. First of all, Ramirez can't play anywhere except first base. He's much better suited to be in the DH in the American League anyway. And the only place he can play is first. And if you're going to move the outfield the way it should be moved, then Bruce has to come play first base. So that you have Nimmo, Cespedes, and Conforto in the outfield. So Ramirez doesn't fit the Mets. Nor do I think that'll be his first choice. Anyway, I think he'd be an American League player first for the DH. I think that's what he's got to look for. Plus, he might look for a park that gives him a little better chance to hit a bunch of home runs. He might look at a park that's more conducive to that. Andrew in Port Jefferson. What's up, Andrew?
Hey, Mike. Thanks for taking my call.
What's happening?
Listen, frustrated Mets fan. I've been watching this offense for years now. Minus the second half of 2015, it's been atrocious. And all we do is sign older players, prone to get hurt, for discount contracts, meaning we're not going after top-tier free agents. No one thinks the Mets are going after Machado next year. It's a very frustrating situation. It really is. Yeah. And one more thing, that last caller who said he doesn't know how Bart Scott has a job in New York, and no disrespect to you, but here you are back, and some people are wondering how you have a job back here right now.
What do you mean? What is it? I don't understand. Why wouldn't I have a job?
Well,
I can have a job. I don't want to be. I don't want to be in any way bold, but I can have a job in radio anywhere I want.
I respect you. I've talked to you.
I could get a job anywhere.
Well, that's what I thought you were going on to do. Was bigger and better things.
I am. Listen, but the fact that I came back to do some stuff here, you find that offensive?
No, not offensive at all. But I think it's interesting. I don't think it was Plan A.
It was absolutely Plan A because I had no reason. First of all, I don't have to listen. The fact that you don't know all the details, that's fine. You don't have to know all the details.
There were some details in reputable news sources.
There was none of them. Not one word of it was true because no one would know the details because the details are between me and the guy who owns the company. And that's the man who brought me back here, the man who owns the company. So what you know about it is less than nothing. That's what you know about it.
Well, what I do know is that you put us on a big retirement tour like Jeter did and a lot of others.
Well, listen, and it was very real until somebody came to me and asked me to come back, and I said, you know what the plan that was laid out in front of me, I thought made sense. So I didn't think it was against the law to come back, especially when the man who owns the company was the one who asked me to come back.
And I'm telling you right now, I do respect you. I think you're amazing on the radio.
And the only one who knows what that deal entails is the man who brought me back, which is the man who owns the company. That was it.
But even a guy like me who respects you 100% is saying that there is another. It's not just you, and other people moved on, and other people took your place, despite what you might think of them. And you had a retirement tour, and you're back. And I'm telling you, you're great radio. We all know you bring a lot of fans.
I don't understand the point, though. What is the point?
My point was I was pointing out that the other caller said he doesn't know how Bart.
Listen. First of all, I don't talk about other shows on my show.
I know, and I always respect.
Right, I did not say anything about Bart Scott in any way. and that was a caller who had a problem with Bart Scott, not me. I didn't make that comment, and I don't solicit those comments, or do I ever talk about other shows on my show. I really
and all
don't.
I'm saying, the little I do know, Mike, is that you left the show thinking bigger and better things.
No. I never did. I left the show to retire. I did not leave the show. I wanted to do something new, and I am doing something new. And what I am telling you is the fact that I am here is part of something new that I have planned, and it all fits together. The fact that you don't understand the vision yet, you will get to see it, okay? It is all done, and the man who brought me back is a partner in the new thing we're planning to do, which will start in August. And he is a partner in it. He owns part of it, as do I. And that's why it is all working together. And this is all part of the same plan. So, yes, there is something very new. It's the app that we're producing and working on very hard on and putting together that will begin in August. And it's something that CAA and myself and Intercom own. And part of it, we decided, would include me coming back to work on the fan. And it all works together. But if there was no app, I would not be here. It's all been done through, it's all about the app and then coming back and doing shows, which, hey, I like doing. And he wanted me to come back and participate on the fan, which he owns now. And I agreed to do it. That's all. And it's really not any more complicated than that. But the app is an enormous part of this. And that is very new. And I think it'll be very interesting. And I'm really looking forward to it. But it's not ready yet. And it will begin in August. But the people who have written about it don't understand the part of the app and understand how this all links together. It is a business partnership. That's what it is. And it's something new and something different. And it's going to begin in August. And just stay tuned, and I hope it will be as good as everybody. I hope it all works out and is as received as favorably as I think it will be. It's going to be a lot of fun. Dave in Croton on the Hudson, what's up, Dave?
Mike, glad to have you back, sir.
What's happening?
I think you tied the Torrez a little too much here. Torrez.
No. Torrez is a utility man. He's not part of the trade bait, but he's not going to get. He is not going to the minors.
But what is Walker then if Bird comes back?
Well, Walker cannot play shortstop. He's not a utility man. He is a pinch hitter. He is a guy who can play first, second, and third. He is a veteran player, and he is a pinch hitter, but he cannot play shortstop.
Who can play shortstop if Walker plays second?
Only Torrez can play shortstop.
That's right.
But you don't want to do that to Torrez and turn him into a utility man. He's not a utility man. So you want to have, and Torrez has done a great job as a utility man on this team. So he has got a role here. You do not want to disrupt that role.
But you're going to have two. If you want,
you don't have two utility men. Walker is not a utility man.
If he's playing first, second, and third, he is.
But he isn't. He is a veteran player who is your number one pinch hitter. And he can play in an everyday role or a platoon role. He can play for 2 weeks straight. He can do any role you need. Now, if you say to me, I want Austin on a team more than Walker, that is a decision you can make. I don't agree with it. I think Walker's more valuable, but you need Torrez on this team because he can play any position. He does his job very well. You need a utility man, and you don't want to do that to Torrez. You don't want to turn him into that.
I respectfully disagree, sir. Thank you.
Oh, no. Torrez has got to stay. You do not take Torrez off. Torrez has got to stay. You don't take Torrez off. He's too valuable. He does too many different things. You make it between Austin and Walker. Keep Torrez here. You don't want him to have to fill in. You don't want to take Torrez off second base and make him have to play other positions. Let's say Didi got hurt for 48 hours. You don't want him to jump over and play short for 2 days and then have to jump back to second base. You don't want to do that to him. Let him just settle in at second base and become a star. You don't want to turn him into a utility man, and Walker can't play shortstop. Reyes is a good little player. He's got a nice role on this team. You don't want to disrupt that. Let Cole go down to the minors if you want to keep Austin right now. Or I think it's between Austin and Walker. I would be stunned if they got rid of Torrez. He fits this team too well, and the players love him on this team. Luke in Babylon, what's up, Luke?
Hey, Mike. Welcome back.
What's happening?
You were talking before about how Hanley doesn't fit the Mets, obviously, because they don't have a DH.
Right.
When do you see the DH come into the NL? Because
I don't.
Ever?
I don't think that there's any climate for it. I think they actually like that the two leagues are different.
Because if the owners are going to be stingy with giving out jobs,
right,
I feel like the players are shooting themselves in the foot if you eliminate half the league as a landing spot for these guys who could only really hit.
Well, listen, the players would love there to be a DH in both leagues because it's a high-paying job. So, and it keeps older players in. It's a good place to put stars in when they get older, but it's also a high-paying job on a lot of teams. It's a guy who can make a lot of money who can stay in the game at the DH spot because he can really hit. He can be a Big Papi. You know, a guy like Big Papi would have had no role for a lot of years. There's a lot of Edgar Martinez. You go down the line, there's a lot of guys who can stay in baseball as a DH, and that's why I like the DH. Plus, I think the idea of the sanctimonious NL fan who thinks that, you know, it's not baseball if the pitcher doesn't hit. I don't agree with that. I think this game's changed. But I do not think the NL is anywhere near going to the DH.
That's disappointing.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I don't see it, Luke. Thank you. I don't see it. You know what? I agree with you about the DH. I'm pro DH. I can tell you this. You have a better chance of the NL adopting the DH than you ever do of the American League dropping the DH. The DH will never be dropped. It may be adopted someday. I would say probably not at any time near in the future. I don't think there's any clamoring for it. I don't think NL owners are any closer to doing it. So I don't think it's anywhere near happening. But I would say this. You have a better chance of it happening than you do of the American League ever dropping it because the unions never drop in that job. It's a very high-paying job overall. There's no way that's happening. Chris in Washington. What's up, Chris?
Hi there, Mike. Big fan of yours.
Thank you. What's happening? Thank you.
Hey, well, I just wanted to make a quick comment and then a question for you on this whole NFL anthem issue. I really love Washington Huskies football. Used to be a big NFL fan. I'm like, you know what? I don't want to support the NFL anymore over this whole anthem issue. I have a lot of fun.
So the anthem issue has made you not watch the NFL?
Made me not watch the NFL. And to get my football fix, I like to watch my college team on Saturday nights. It's a great event. I'll go out. I'll support the kids who are standing at attention, and I'll still get my football fix. So my question is, how many people do you think are like me who will just watch college and say, forget the NFL, they're millionaire babies, they won't stand
I'll tell you this.
for the flag?
I will say this, okay? No matter where you fall on this issue, if anyone thinks that this issue has not impacted the NFL's business, they just have their head in the sand. Because I'm telling you, I can't tell you how many people at a wedding have come up to me or a event I've done or even family members who were giant season ticket holders who are like, I'm not buying the tickets anymore. I'm not going to the games anymore. I'm not even watching. Or I'm not watching anybody except the Giants. I'll watch the Giants because they're my team, but I'm not watching any other game. I've had people express this. I've had people write it to me. I've had people send me tickets. I'm not using these anymore. I've had people express that over and over, and I've asked people in the league, and by early on, people were like, it's not that big a deal. It'll blow over. Now, everybody admits it, that it has absolutely impacted their business. There's no question it has. You want to tell me to what extent? I can't give you exact numbers on that. There's no way to do that. There's no polling that is that efficient. But NFL properties was down. Their games are down. And you're going to tell me they're down because there's too many games on TV? You know what? That's a little part of it. I also think this issue has really struck home. And I think it really has. And I think some customers are fed up. And couple that with what might be higher cost of tickets or personal seat licenses or different things that already had gotten under their skin and added all together, and you get people leaving the sport. Back after this.